Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, my name is Anneke. Today's quest is to give my daughter the perfect gift for her graduation. She graduated from the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, and I wanted to do something nice for her graduation, something that she will remember. And so we went to the Harry Potter studios. Not only did we go to the Harry Potter studios, but we also did afternoon tea for two. And now that might have been my excitement of of reading things and seeing things the way I wanted them to be, rather than the way they are. The way I read it, the afternoon tea was going to be served in the Great Hall. And I thought, how are they going to do that? Because logistically, that doesn't make sense. Our afternoon tea was booked at 3 o'clock. It's a very civilized time to have afternoon tea. And I didn't understand how they were going to do that, because there's still people going in to view the Harry Potter studios. Anyway, long story short, we didn't get afternoon tea in the Great Hall. It was separate. It was in the restaurant part, and there they had recreated a part of the ceiling with the candles hanging from it, and that's where afternoon tea was served. Afternoon tea was lovely. It was really, really good. Comes highly recommended. It was brilliant, really, really good, and I would say good value for money. We really had an amazing time, and the food was great. So we had been at Harry Potter Studios before, and I was hoping to be able to use some footage of previous times. Can I find it anywhere? No. So you'll be stuck with the footage I've got this time round. They do add a bit over the years. They change things around a bit over the years. Some of the things are key features, but it's amazing. So I don't really have a picture of the doors opening and just entering into the Great Hall, which is quite amazing to just walk onto that set. You actually walk through the Great Hall, which is amazing. I do have a couple of photos of the tables and the Christmas trees. So yeah, there's that. So that was the original quest, to give my daughter an amazing and memorable present to celebrate the fact that she graduated. And my personal quest today is to maybe not master voiceover, but at least wrangle it into submission. I've done a little bit of voiceover before, and then when I tried it again, could I do it? No. So yeah, and I want to do some voiceover because otherwise it is just pictures and it may not always make sense. What you're looking at, as in, the real fans will know what they're looking at. It sometimes to be able to explain a bit more is would be nice. So I'm going to try that. That's my quest for today. To come back to the afternoon tea. Initially, I was kind of pushing us along because our slot to visit the studios was 12 o'clock and our tea was 3 o'clock. Now you would say, oh, that's plenty of time. Well, my daughter is a big Harry Potter fan, and so we study the exhibitions, we study the bits that are there, even though we may have seen it before. We really get into it, and if she isn't studying it, then I'm studying it. But I was there to go along for the ride. I keep telling that myself. I loved it. But then my daughter said, surely they let us back into where we stopped, and then we asked some people who work there, and they indeed said, oh well, you know, wherever you stop in the tour, if you then have to go to your afternoon tea, at the end of your afternoon tea, however long that takes, they bring you back to the spot where you stopped. And we had stopped at the last bit where there's the big model of the castle. So that was easy and very, very straightforward. So I don't know what would happen, how you would get to wherever in the big tour. I don't know. For us it was easy. We just walked, you know, against the stream and we were there. How to get there? So the previous times we went by car. The studios are in Watford. Watford, in my brain, is part of London, because M25, anything within the M25 is fair game, you know. Even slightly on the other side of the M25 is fair game to be called London. And for people who are not familiar with the M25, the M25 is the ring road around London. So as long as you stay on the M25, you can go round and round in circles forever and never get anywhere. Or you stand still on the M25, which happens a lot as well. Anyway, so it's the Harry Potter studios are in Watford, which is on the north side of the M25, as in north side of London. The previous two times we went by car, it's well signposted. Yeah, we had no problems getting there at all. Yeah, no comments. There's a giant parking space there, so you know, easy to park the car and go inside. This time around we went by public transport because my daughter lives in London, and we went up, I think it's called the Overground, to Watford Junction. So Watford Junction was the last stop on that, I think it's called the Overground, as opposed to the Underground. So yeah, it's the last stop, Watford Junction, and once you get off at Watford Junction, there are shuttle buses there, and they're covered in one or other Harry Potter scene. For some reason they chose the scene with spiders. I don't know, maybe they were still in Halloween mode or something. No idea why you would say, oh, come and see this nice giant spider. Anyway, so there's shuttle buses. I think the same applies as with any bus service. You know, now there's none and then there are three. It's meant to be, I think, every 15 minutes or something like that. But yeah, and it's the shuttle bus is included with the ticket, so you don't have to pay on the bus. That was basically where I was going with this. So you get out of Watford Junction, whether you come by train or by whatever mode of transport, public transport, and then you outside you will find the shuttle bus to the Harry Potter studio. If you don't see it immediately, ask someone. There might be even an enormous queue of people. And some of them will be dressed up in Harry Potter gear, and then you know, okay, that's where I need to be. For us, the queue was short, and we got in at the wrong side. Anyway, the queue was very short, and I don't think anyone was dressed up. But my friend told me that that's where we needed to be. Thank you, Marilyn. Much appreciated. And then, you know, it drops you off at the studios. We did have the kind of last bus back home, and was that 6 o'clock? Don't really know. They do announce it when the last bus is going. when it gets close to that time, there will be a general announcement saying, well, last bus to Watford Junction will be leaving whenever. So you have to keep an eye on that, which is the advantage of being there with your own car. You can stay as long as you want without any trouble. What else? Entrance fee and booking for afternoon tea. So I can't remember when I booked. It was somewhere this summer. I had to wait to know which day exactly my daughter's graduation took place. So it would be just before or just after that. So it would be one trip to the London area for me. And once we pinpointed it, that's when I booked the exact date. And afternoon tea, you book it at the same time as the entrance ticket to walk around the studios. You have to go on the internet and go to the website to see how much it is. I can't remember. I thought that afternoon tea was quite a good value for money. You get an enormous pot of tea when they gave it to us. So we got a pot each, so you can choose your tea, and we got a pot each, and it was just a family-sized pot of tea. And I thought, I'm never going to get through that, but I did, and I even asked for extras, and we stayed there for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. We really took our time, and it was just lovely. It was really lovely, and there was plenty of food. When you see it on the stand, you think, okay, that's nice. Didn't think anything special about it, as in, it looked amazing, but as in quantity-wise, you think, okay. And we were hungry because we had brunch at about 10:30, something like that. So come 3 o'clock, we really wanted to eat something, and it was just some finger sandwiches, and then there was a tray with a small quiche and some savoury things, and then there was a plate with sweet things. It was really nice, and a scone with jam and cream. And of course, a Christmas cracker. Christmas can't be complete without a Christmas cracker in Great Britain. So yeah, that was nice. And yeah, I think I succeeded in my quest to give my daughter a really, really nice present for her graduation. It is something she will remember for quite some time. And it's, when you say, presents and spending money, for me, it was spending money on an experience, spending money on something that she will remember, rather than spending money on things. And can I think of things that would be good for her or nice for her? Or she doesn't wear jewellery, really, which for me would have been the obvious path to go, because that's kind of how I've been brought up. When there's something really special going on, to get something of jewellery. But as you can see, the only jewellery I wear are just those tiny earrings, and that's about it. I have a little, I've got a necklace and I've got a bracelet and I've got a hair clip, but I don't use them. I just don't use them. It's not practical. It's fiddly, and I don't go out. If I had a busy social calendar with balls and goodness knows what, it might have been useful for me. And my daughter has no social calendar either, with nice things to go to when she meets up with friends. She meets up with friends in small groups. So that's not really a reason to dress up, if that makes sense. So yeah, and she only lives in a very small space. So to give her things that take up space, that doesn't really make sense either. So to give her a memory, to give her a nice experience, to give her something I know she likes, yeah, it was a good choice. Even though I say so myself, I did ask her, she agrees. So there you go. So yeah, that's part of the quest I succeeded at, to give her a good present. And now I have to do the second part of the quest, and that's to master voiceover and mix voiceover with music and all the rest of it. It's going to be fun, she said. Oh, we'll see how fun it is. Yeah, we'll see how fun it is. Yeah, and if you like this content, if you enjoy watching this video, then please like, subscribe and share. It really, really makes a difference. And, you know, if you enjoy it, most probably you've got friends who enjoy it as well. So just show it to them, and remember to hit like. For some reason, the algorithms really like when you hit like. So that would be amazing. So without further ado, here is an overview of our day in the Harry Potter studios. Enjoy watching. Thank you. Bye.